Dear listeners, today I'm really excited to share with you one of my favorite stories of all time. It's the beloved Chinese classic and epic Journey to the West. Maybe you've heard of Sun Wukong. He's also known as the Monkey King. Well, let me tell you about his origins. So, this story begins on a mountain called Mount Huaguo. This was divine land, and it was brimming with the most beautiful fruits and flowers. The vast sea floated all around it, and at the top of the mountain there was a large stone pillar. Now one day, a deep rumbling came from the earth. Crack! Suddenly, the stone pillar split open, and out tumbled a stone ball. The wind gave the ball a push, and it began to roll. Quicker and quicker it rolled until flash! The strangest thing happened. The stone ball transformed into a stone monkey. The stone monkey's eyes snapped open. He knelt to the ground and bowed to the east, west, north, and south. This was him paying his respects to the heavens. After doing so, he leapt down the mountain. There were groups of monkeys playing below, and they were jumping and twirling in the air. "Hey!" called the stone monkey. "Let me join in on your fun." The other monkeys were delighted to see a newcomer and welcomed him with open arms and taught him their games. In no time, they all became great friends. Together, they passed carefree days, picking syrupy, ripe fruits and swinging from tree branches. Before long, summer swept over Mount Huaguo, and the weather turned sweltering hot. So the monkeys bathed in the river to cool themselves off. As they were splashing around, one of the monkeys commented, "Hey, look at the way the river rushes. Where do you suppose the water comes from?" Now, this piqued the stone monkey's curiosity. "Why don't we follow the river up the mountain and find out?" Yes, good idea." "All right, let's go then." The stone monkey shot his fist in the air and led the way. The other monkeys clung on one by one, tugging each other along. The whole crowd of them moved like a gust of wind up the slope. They walked for quite a long distance until the sounds of crashing water filled the air. Before them, a powerful waterfall spilled down from the top of the mountain. From their angle, it kind of looked like a giant white curtain. The monkeys were mesmerized by how beautiful the waterfall was. And the longer they stared, the happier they became. They clapped their hands and tapped their heads with glee. Then one of the monkeys said, "What do you think's on the other side?" And another monkey said, "How about we make whoever has the courage to leap through the water curtain and then come back out to tell us what they saw our king?" "Yeah, let's do that." The rest of the monkeys agreed. "Whoever goes in and successfully comes back out will be our king." "So who's gonna go? Who's gonna go?" As the monkeys watched the water crash down with all of that mighty force, Their excitement fizzled. Nobody dared to volunteer. Moments passed, and the group still remained paralyzed. The monkeys craned their necks from side to side, gave each other sheepish glances. Nobody seemed to have the courage to go. Until suddenly, someone leapt out from the center of the group and yelled, "I'll go!" Can you guess who it was? It was none other than the stone monkey. He blinked rapidly and gave his body a few good shakes. Then, in one swift motion, he sprang straight through the water curtain. The other monkeys stared at the spot the stone monkey had jumped through. They were pretty worried, and they wondered, was their friend going to be okay? On the other side of the water curtain, the stone monkey landed on dry ground. There was an iron bridge that stretched before him, and water flowed underneath the bridge. So it turned out that the water curtain had been shielding this bridge from view. In front of him was a cavern. He approached it and was overjoyed to discover a large stone mansion surrounded with flowers and trees. A stone tablet rose from the ground in front of the mansion. The words, "Mount Huaguo, Blessed Land, Water Curtain Cave Paradise," were engraved on the front of the stone tablet. Ah, so this was an auspicious place. Knowing this, the stone monkey leapt back across the iron bridge. Meanwhile, the other monkeys were pacing back and forth with worry. When they saw the stone monkey return, they crowded around him in relief. "What did you see? How deep is the water?" A dozen questions emerged from the group. The stone monkey just gave a playful shake of his head. "Don't you worry," he grinned. "Let me explain. There's no water at all on the inside. Turns out, the water curtain was blocking an iron bridge from sight. There's a stone mansion on the other side of the bridge. Inside are a bunch of goodies. Stone beds, stone tables, stone chairs, stone basins, stone bowls, stone this and stone that. There's plenty of space. The young, the old, the skinny, the plump. There's enough room for all of us. It's truly a magnificent place." The other monkeys danced with excitement upon hearing this wonderful news. "Let's all go in." "Okay, follow me." The stone monkey crouched and lowered his head. Once more, he leapt through the water curtain, this time leading the other monkeys with him. They all crossed the iron bridge toward the stone mansion. The other monkeys were overjoyed when they saw that the stone monkey had been accurate in his descriptions. This really was a magnificent place. One by one, the monkeys hugged the basins and snatched up the bowls. They rearranged the furniture, moving the chairs and tables this way and that. Believe me, there was a great deal of commotion. Eventually, things calmed down, and the stone monkey jumped on top of a stone chair. "Earlier, you declared you'd make whoever has the courage to come in here and make it back out successfully king. Isn't that right? Well, I've come in here and gone back out and come back in. Found you all a nice new place to live. Aren't you all gonna make me king?" The other monkeys said, "Right, we promised. Come, come, let's crown him king. All of the monkeys lined up and bowed before the stone monkey, who sat in the middle of the room. From that day forward, the stone monkey became the Monkey King. He and the other monkeys all lived harmoniously together in the water curtain cave. Their days were filled with joy, and the time just flew by. One day, however, the Monkey King became terribly upset, and the other monkeys regarded him with alarm. Your Highness, our lives are blessed, and our days are filled with happiness. What could you possibly be upset about? You don't understand. The Monkey King frowned. I may be your king, but I don't possess any real combat skills. What if in the future we run into danger or trouble and I'm unable to protect all of you? What would we do then? He shook his head. I think I shall descend the mountain, find a proper teacher, and train under them to learn some useful combat skills. What do you all think? The other monkeys were reluctant to let their king go, but at the same time, they thought he made a good point. So, holding back their tears, they agreed to see him off. The Monkey King came down the mountain and approached the glittering coast, where he cobbled together a wooden raft. Bidding farewell to Mount Huaguo, he jumped aboard and set sail across the sea in search of a teacher.